Would someone err in this question? I say no, of course. Oh, all of you answered it correctly. I hope the other guys sent. Exit Muhammad Ala. Malak, send the answer if you please. Malak, send the answer, Malak. Well, guys, all of you pay attention. That is a listing case. So I have here a list. Competing with is like the common factor in math. Common factor. So we have here list 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Between the first item and the second comma, between the second and the last comma, and so A is correct. That's it. No need for also with and, because and gives the meaning of also. So this will be a kind of redundancy. Do not go for with, because with is already here. So redundancy. Do not go for competing with, because I already have competing with. So it's going to be a redundancy issue as well. So A is correct. Okay. Question 2. The writer wants to include a quotation by Hersey that supports the topic of the passage. Pay attention. When it comes to this question, do not answer it now. Don't answer this question now. Go for 3, 4, and the other questions, and then go back to 2. Because 2 requires comprehensive understanding of the whole passage. Some students are powerful readers, so they can get the answer now. They are exceptions to the general rule. But for you guys, for all of you, if you usually get such type of questions incorrect, answer it when you do all the other questions based on this passage. Okay. Anyway, so we say here the writer wants to include a quotation by Hersey that supports the topic of the passage. Let's choose a good answer choice. Actually, I need the title to get the topic of the passage. How a cat in a hat. Cat in a hat, what is that? Maybe like literary work is something, book, story, I do not know. Change it children's education. So I'm talking about children's education. One big tip for you, I will reiterate. Read the first sentence of the passage in the writing section. But we don't have a question based on it, Mr. Ihab. Still, you have to read it. Why would I do so? Because some questions require understanding of the focus of the passage, so you must read it. If I read it, in a 1934 Life magazine article, author John Hersey expressed concern that children in the United States were disengaged from learning how to read. Oh, wow. Thank you, sentence 1. I know what the whole passage is about. I can figure out the issue, the crisis, the dilemma we are discussing here. We have an issue of disengagement of the students. The students are disengaged from learning how to read. They were disengaged from learning how to read. So I know now the problem, the issue. Yeah. So I write it. I can write it here. So I get the main idea just from reading the title and reading the very first sentence. I know we are talking about the USA students were disengaged from learning. And what is tourism talking about? I'm talking about the children. So children, well, so here guys, children's book more. Please read the beginning of the sentence. It is a must. One solution. What? I think like that. If it's oriented student, I have to think like that. The sentence begins with the solution, then there is a problem. What is the problem? This is the problem. So the underlined portion must provide the solution to the problem mentioned before. What answer choice provides a solution to the problem mentioned before? Give it a try. Give number 2 a try, guys. بنقول دايما يا شباب يا ريت الستودنت طالما وصل لجريد 9 يبقى عنده برينتر في البيت، يا ريت. هتحتاج البرينتر، مش بس انت عشان توفر فلوس، لا علشان توفر وقت. Well, so I'm looking for a solution of the problem that is that children are not interested in reading books. How? So the solution must answer this question, you know, how to make the books interesting. How the writers make the books interesting. I have the word interesting in all the answer choices. Just give me a sec, guys. Here we go. Well, Ziad, genius. Ziad, Ola Hisham, more than perfect. Yusuf, wrong answer. Is Abdul Masoud, wrong answer. Well, so how to make books interesting for whom? Adults? No, for children. Interesting sense and individual sense of wholeness. Did I discuss this philosophical issue in the paragraph? Anywhere in the passage? Individual sense of wholeness. What? We are talking about a solution for children. They didn't get to such complicated psychological, philosophical issues. So A is, I'd say, the worst answer choice. So B, interesting since learning starts with failure. The first failure is at the beginning of education. This is a sentence you like. This is a quotation you like. It can work for any passage in the world. That is positive for any passage in the world. But does it belong to this passage? Does it give a solution to the problem? What is the problem? The students, the children are bored. They do not find the books interesting anymore. Does it give an answer for this question, for this problem? No, it does not, of course. So learning starts with failure. You didn't give me, for example, when you ask, Mr. Ahab, would you please give me some tips for studying effectively? So I say, study. What an answer. You know, this is what B does. Learning starts with failure. It is not about learning. It is about how to make work, specific work, books, interesting. You didn't give me solution. It does not contain a solution. It contains a memo, it contains a slogan, but it does not contain a solution. So be wrong. C, interesting because journalism, thank you so much. I want to go on reading because of the word journalism. We're not talking about journalism here. We are talking about a problem and solution. Problem, solution. What problem? That the students were disengaged, So journalism is the answer? No. Journalism can be the answer of the question or the solution of the problem when it comes to people, adults, when it comes to adults, guys. But when it comes to children, do we have children reading newspapers, something like that? I bet no. So journalism allows its readers to witness history. Fiction gives its readers an opportunity to live it. It does not give a solution to how to make books interesting. So C is wrong as well. Let's see D. Interesting with drawings like those of the wonderfully imaginative geniuses among the children's illustrators. Oh, wow. I give now a creative solution for the problem. I'm talking about specific audience, children, right? As long as I'm talking about children, then I must provide a solution that is consistent with the age level, the age. So when I make these books with interesting drawings, would it make children interested in reading these books? Of course, yes. Do we talk about illustrations? Can illustrations and illustrators make big difference, changing how students view these books? Of course. How children view these books? Of course. You know what, guys? Even we adults feel comfortable, feel that the thing is interesting when it contains pictures, we feel that when it contains drawings, the graph would make you understand the thing too much better than writing information, just stating statements only. This will not be very effective. We feel comfortable when we see a graph. I understand everything. I see the curve now, whether it goes up, goes down, it increases gradually or drastically. So I see now, I see. Yeah. D gives a good solution of the big problem stated before, that the children in the United States were disengaged from learning how to read. So I give a good solution of how to make reading these books interesting by adding drawings like those of the wonderfully imaginative geniuses among children's illustrators. So D is too much better, of course, than any other answer choice. 3, send the answer. This is 3, guys. Yeah, okay, thank you so much. All of you answered it correctly. Salma, Marwan, Ziyad, Ola, Yusuf Abdul Maqsood. Yeah, here we go. Pay attention, please. Here When William Spalding, I want to give extra information about this guy, William Spalding. So I can write comma, second comma, and the second comma for the non-essential always comes before the verb. See, the verb read. So this is a second comma, and the first comma must be placed here. Can D be correct, guys? Yes, it can be if I replace the second comma with a second dash. So I will need a first dash. D will be correct. If I replace this comma with a dash, D will be 100% correct. C is wrong because I see unnecessary comma after director. I need the comma before because it introduces the beginning of non-essential information. But how would I separate the director from of the education division? I can never do that. I cannot separate this noun from the prepositional phrase directly related to it. So I need to know director of what. So I can separate director from of what. If I choose B, it will be totally incorrect because I already have a second comma for the non-essential, then I need a first comma. There must be first comma here. A is correct because it gives me this structure, subject, and their verb, and the in between non-essential, it can be between two commas, two dashes. No problem. If I find dash in the second portion, in the second part, yes, it must be dash before. Well, foreigner. Send yes. Okay. Very easy. نبعت مسج للجروب. طيب علا هشام more than perfect. علا مروان ويوسف. That is so easy. Explain it, Marwan.
Yes, mister.
Why A is correct?
Here in the question, he say choose most what should choose most effectively combine the sentence at the underlined portion. We first read the first sentence. Spalding agreed that there was a need for appealing books for beginning readers. He thought, and the second, he thought he knew who would write one. At choice A, he combines two independent clauses using comma and a conjunction from the fanboys, which is correct. After that B, we don't need the dash, and namely, after that a comma and he.
Yeah.
At C,
Okay, just wait, please. When do we use namely in English? For what purpose?
I don't know.
If you know, raise hand, guys. When do we use namely in English? Of course, the answer is A. And he, I have independent before. Spalding agreed that there was a need for appealing books for beginner readers. This is independent. He thought that he knew who should write one. Another independent, two independent clauses can be joined by comma fanboys. So A is correct. Semicolon and is always wrong. We explained an exception for that rule before, but generally it is wrong. And then meanwhile, why would I go for meanwhile? What would it add to the meaning? And is enough. So D is wrong. But the question now is B. Why is B wrong? Namely, when do we use namely in English? Raise hand if you know. No one knows, guys. Namely is very important. By the way, well, so we use namely too. Excellent, Yusuf. Namely, when I move from general to specific. From general to specific. For example, I wrote the word problems. And I wanna name one problem. I say namely pollution. Namely pollution. Students. And I wanna mention a specific guy, namely Ali. So that is the usage of namely. Namely is used to move from the general to the specific. It almost equals specifically. Specifically. Namely. So did I name someone here? Did I provide name? And no. I already talked about someone before and someone after. To go for namely, I have to use plural before and the singular after. For example, Spalding and Edward and Stewart and so on. And namely, I name someone only. So I already have someone before, someone after, just one before, one after. So namely does not make sense here. Well, five, the last question. Which choice best supports the information that follows in the paragraph, in the sentence, in the passage? You must read that carefully. That is in that sentence. So I need an answer choice that supports that. Someone being an experienced writer and illustrator. Okay. Hurry up, guys. We are running out of time. More than perfect. Selma. Excellent. Yusuf Abdul Masood. Correct. Who else? Marwan. Excellent, Marwan. Okay, here we go. Selma, would you please explain it? How did you get to the correct answer? Just to give it an answer.
Yes, mister.
So why D is the best answer choice? Why it's not A, B, or C?
Well, he said that Giselle was an experienced writer and illustrator. So A is wrong because he no
Just feel comfortable. Well, زياد احنا هنا
To
عادي
be
يا
honest,
شباب
Mr.
مفيش
I don't know.
مشكلة يعني. feel comfortable. يعني على فكرة طبيعي ان احنا نغلط، مفيش مشكلة خالص. طبيعي ان احنا نقول انا حاسس ان الانسر دي بس انا مش عارف الباقيين ليه. عادي. انتوا هنا علشان تتعلموا فمفيش اي مشكلة يعني. زياد go ahead.
To be honest, I don't know.
You don't know, okay, no problem. Who else? Marwan.
Yes.
So, would you please justify A as wrong answer? Here, I need an evidence that this guy was an experienced writer and illustrator, right?
Yes.
Why A is wrong?
Because knowing the writer Spalding for many years and having maintained a professional relationship with him will not make Giesel an experienced writer and illustrator.
100% correct. I need an evidence that this guy is experienced writer. So whether you know him for many years or you do not know him, it has nothing to do with proving that he is experienced writer. What will prove that he is an experienced writer is his work, right? Not,
Yes.
not that because you know it or you don't know it, of course. Why B is wrong? Acquired the reputation for perfectionism and for setting high standards for his work.
Because this is either not his work. He didn't do it. He's just acquired a perfectionism.
Having we take into consideration that we are discussing an issue related to children, right?
Yes.
How to engage children in learning. So the issue of perfectionism will not grab the attention or will not represent a problem for children. So it is out of topic. It does not give an evidence that this guy is experienced. Experienced means he can be recognized by others because of his work. C, been
Because,
interested in politics.
because his interest in politics before children's literature were not also making him an experienced writer.
Being interested in something will not make you an experienced writer, of course.
Politics have nothing to do with children's literature.
100% correct, because of the word politics. It is not the focus of the whole passage. We do not discuss political issues. We do not discuss perfectionism, right? We do not say that this guy is experienced writer and illustrator because someone knows him. Nonsense. While D proves that this guy is experienced writer. Why? Because he published 9 children's books and received 3 nominations for prestigious Caldecott Medal. So yeah, of course, he is an experienced writer and illustrator. Give me evidence. This is a logical evidence as he wrote 9 children's books and received medals, received honors, things like that. So yeah, while having knowledge or being interested in politics, perfectionism will not give good clue, and knowing someone to be known by someone will not make him experienced writer and illustrator as well. So A, B, C are wrong. D gives the question what it wants because the question asks, what supports the information that follows? Step 1, read the information that follows. Step 2, choose the answer choice that harmonious with what follows. That's it. Okay, guys.